Today, we will talk about comparison. And comparison is the thief of joy. We've all heard it, but do we actually live by it? We're going to dive into the ugly truth about comparison, how it steals our happiness, self worth, and peace of mind without us realizing it. And we'll talk about how social media does not help and why we tend to look at everyone else's highlight reel and then somehow think that we're falling, and how our constant comparison chips away at our confidence. And before we go any further, don't forget to hit that follow button so you never miss a new episode. If you're enjoying the content, please like, rate, and share it with your friends. That helps us reach more amazing listeners like you. So let's get into it. Let's discuss.
Let's discuss. For those of you who are watching, I did this because sometimes, oh, there we go, it
He doesn't do it
happened.
when I do it.
So yeah, let's discuss. Comparison is the thief of joy and happiness. It is. Um, but also allows for new ideas and
Does it?
inspiration. No, but like seriously, like if you're comparing your life to somebody else and you're feeling bad about your life compared to that person, that's not good for you or your mental health,
No,
anyone's
definitely.
mental health.
It's interesting because for me, it's always on a professional level, and it always has to do with like LinkedIn updates. So whenever I see, and it's just so hard for entrepreneurs, like I see the like coverage, which by the way, I don't know if people realize it or not, but in order to be featured in a magazine, like you probably paid for that. That's how it works. You don't just end up in magazines. You have a PR team that you pay that then gets you into that magazine. In order to submit yourself or a brand, you have to pay. So, just in case people didn't know that, when you're featured in a magazine, the odds are you paid for it.
Yeah, like I think, we're so far along in our journey that we understand that, and but it's also easy to forget. Um, Especially on LinkedIn, I was at a networking event with a person who then posted on Facebook about that same networking event. And I was like, were we at the same thing? Because, like, the words to make it seem like exceptional and more interesting than what I thought it was like a great time, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't to the height of his adjectives, and that's how people propel themselves. And that's what you're supposed to do on LinkedIn, right? Like, I don't hate the player, I hate the game, right? Like that's what you're supposed to do. But usually it's not like real,
It's not real.
but it
Yeah,
looks
because nobody's
great.
going to ever post the struggles, right? Nobody's ever posting what they're losing on as they're maybe gaining in one aspect of their lives. You can't gain in all aspects. Something's losing.
Yeah, well, I know the way that I create content is that I will not post my loss until I have a story attached to it of how it's actually a win. Like I've been on the struggle for 10 years, but that struggle helped me truly appreciate it when on the 11th year I was still in the struggle, but a little bit closer. Do you know what I mean? Like like it's storytelling, it's marketing.
Yes. It's just always so crazy because when you like see it or when it happens, it just consumes you and it just derails you from whatever you were doing. Like again, I'm bringing it back to the professional aspect. Like instead of concentrating on what I'm doing, then I am obsessing over like why did they get so much money and funding? Why did like look at what they're doing. Look at where they're at, and then
Mhm.
you end up undermining yourself. So I actually wrote a LinkedIn post about this. About this
How did you turn it around?
this
That's
I
amazing.
yeah, I turned it around because I allow myself to feel it, and then I go back and I say, well, I did this, and it might not have gotten the recognition that I'm looking at that someone else did, but to me, it's a big deal.
You still did it, right?
I did it, yeah. So I always just I allow myself to look at it and say, okay, good for them. I did this, and that's good. I'm proud of myself. I'm not gonna let their success undermine my successes. And I think that's the
Exactly.
issue, right?
Because you don't know where they started. You don't
Correct.
know how many steps ahead they started. You don't know maybe how many steps behind and who stepped in to help them. Like there's so many different reasons a person that's happening.
Yeah, everybody has a different journey, but like
Everyone's journey is
comparison,
their
I
own.
mean, I don't know. I can tell you from a like personal experience. I had my children really late, and both of my best friends had kids by that point. By the point where I was still single, and that comparison really killed me because my two best friends are with significant others and they have children, and I'm over here. Like
Yeah,
that
that's
comparison was difficult because of course I was happy for them, of course, but I was like, I am so late, and that's the thing. Like there is no time frame on what your life is going to give you.
right. Well, it worked out for you. Knock on wood.
Yeah, yeah.
But speaking of when my best friend got engaged, I was like to my boyfriend at the time, I'm like, look what Val got. Look at that. They've been dating the same amount of time. Yes, I'll give you the stay-at-home mom comparison. Birthday parties and the goodie bags that you bring in. And like recently Easter, the eggs, right? I was like, I used to fill my own eggs because I had the time and I still have the time, but I don't do that anymore, right? I buy pre-filled eggs.
Yes, of course.
And then this other mom comes, she's like, yeah, like I'm done filling my eggs and I have to like, and she was just doing it by hand and like just making it seem like so much better than mine. That's where my head went. Um, but again, like she's just trying to be her best self. Like whatever. I don't like think there was a competition, right? You're just trying to do the best for the kids. But I'm like, look at you trying to out egg everyone. Like, did I suck? Do my eggs suck because I bought them? And so that's like the chatter that happens. But meanwhile, it's just like an egg hunt's full of garbage that you're gonna throw out the next day. Like it doesn't matter what she filled it with.
Oh, yes,
It
correct.
doesn't matter. Like candy, they can't have candy.
Oh, it's the worst.
But I'm
My
still like
God.
thinking like, like should I have done that? Or like the balloon rainbows at birthday parties. I went through her birthday party where I didn't prepare the table on time, and the mothers who came to the party were sitting, putting my stuff together. And then, how do you not compare? How does one not compare?
Yes.
Let's look at my empty card. I actually know therapy. No, no, you just like stop. Like when you see it happening, you stop and you just try your best in
I
what
don't know.
you can do.
I feel like you can't stop because it's just natural. You can't help but to compare. I think the key here is how do you compare in a healthy way where you are still you still give them that prop that, hey, like they did
The
it,
good
like
job.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
you still bring them up, but you bring them up without bringing yourself down.
Yeah, and I think this is like where just the conversation of enabling comes. Like now that it's in my awareness that I feel a certain way, that I could, if I feel bad that my eggs are pre-filled, and I think that's a better thing to do, then next year I should do that
Yes.
and never complain about it again.
Yes, because
Done.
you always want to be a better version of yourself.
Of course, yeah. We weigh like, do you have the energy to do this now? Do you have the bandwidth to do this now? And I genuinely think like everyone just tries their best in the moment. And if you think you're sucking, sorry, like if you think you're not doing enough, or maybe write it down and do better for yourself. Like that's the only way. Like the only person who's going to save you is you.
Can you know who I think suffers the most of comparison as the thief of joy?
Who?
I think men.
Really?
Yeah, no?
I've not talked to them enough to gather enough evidence for a viewpoint. Tell me more.
Well, as a man, you are like how are you defined? You're defined as like what you do, what you bring, like your stature, right?
How well yes, I don't like how good your job is, the car that you
Yeah,
drive.
like
And
it's unfortunately that's so
excuse me.
you always compare. Like you always compare like why is it that the most famous accounts of men are dudes that are rich with fancy cars? We
So
look at beauty and they look at wealth.
that could be like an algorithm thing because now that I like live in Florida, I think that they define wealth differently. Because like obviously from Northeast New York, we know like the car that you drive, the stuff that you have, the things that you do. And down south here in more the country area, they care less about those things, but like their success is like they have a homestead. Like they're able to like move out of the development and build their own house. They can have like so it's a different like it's less flashy,
Yeah,
you know? So like when you talk about cars, I'm just like thinking the New York way, like the but I'm like over here I
but
guess
they
they
still
compete in
enjoy
different
cars.
ways.
It's just a different,
Different kind of car.
it's just
They
a
like
different kind of
boats,
car. It's just a
but
bigger
different
car
boats.
instead of
Like
a small boats.
boats. Like but like it's a Florida lifestyle to have boats. Like it's not like a special it's not like, "Oh my god, you have a boat." It's like, "Of course you have a boat. Duh." Like what are you going to do on the weekend?
Okay, so the same idea, the
Yeah.
same
Or like a
concept.
different I guess I still like I'm always comparing the North to the South. I'm always comparing it.
And
Um,
it's taking away your joy of living in the South.
yeah, but I'm not saying like one is better than like
Sure.
obviously like I enjoy living in the South, but I'm not I don't enjoy country things like grass bothers me.
How
Like
could
I'd
you not
rather
like grass? You live in Florida.
like to walk in it barefoot. I know that's called grounding, but I
It's
like
grounding, girl.
I just like rather ground on asphalt. I don't know. Like, so I'm like always in the middle, but I'm always comparing, like, oh, like my friends in the north do this. Oh, my friends in the south do this. It's not better or worse. It's just different. Like, seriously, like people still have goals. They're just different goals because it's a different lifestyle. And I just can't view them as one. But yes, everyone compares here and there.
Yeah.
The moms don't escape it here any less than they escape it there.
No. It's it's difficult. It's interesting because it's the comparison is there, like you said, for both stay-at-home moms and for working for sure.
Yeah, like and also I'm like very hyper folk like aware when people say things. Like everyone compares and they're like, "Oh, if you come in with this type of goodie bag, they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't do that this time." It's not about you right now. Like you think it's about you because of what you haven't done because you're comparing yourself to what's been done here. And that's everywhere.
I know for a fact the comparison for like decorating your house if you live in the South, because you have to decorate it for the seasons. Like you got to decorate it because I know this for a fact because I hear this.
Yeah.
Because
My
my
next door neighbor and friends is superior
you like
in just
you
all
have to
ways of
decorate your
decorating.
house for every like for Halloween, for Easter, for Christmas. Like you have to have different decorations, and you compare because if you don't do it, then you feel
I feel like honestly, like a garbage disposal. My neighbor takes a picture with her family for every single holiday
oh
with the outfits matching. Like it's like amazing. And I'm always telling her, like, I love your family photo, right? But like her mom did that and my mom didn't. And it's just like over years, you just like pick up this habit, right? So like I don't feel bad that I haven't had years of training to gather my family. I can't even match outfits for photo shoots. Like I can't like my brain doesn't work like that. I forgive me. And I love that she does it. But nonetheless, compare every single holiday. Like, oh, that would have been nice.
I mean,
You should have told me to
that's
do
hard to
that.
do, to take yourself out of that, because that's like life. But I think the most easiest really is to like set boundaries with social media, because that's like, I mean, self compare to what these women look like these days is just crazy. Like,
Like, I compare myself to my friends, like to you guys, to the 9 people that I go on trips with, right? And if you allow your brain, oh, if you allow your brain to compare, it's going to happen. I'm kind of over that now. I've evolved. No, because like again, like from a therapeutic point of view, I just like when you feel bad about yourself, you're going to find things that you feel bad about yourself that another person has. Right? It's never about that other person that has something that you don't, right? Like it's not about that person, it's about you. You doing the things and taking the effort to make yourself better, right? Like
or
that's
not
just
even better, just being yourself. Well,
or
yes,
improved, like
yes, because that just should be the normal way of life. Like every day, like you want to. So, do we talk
like
about?
better because you're feeling bad and you want to feel better. Not like, oh, be a better decorator. What is better? It's like a taste thing.
Yeah, but I like that's the biggest thing, is it takes you in this not enough. Like what I'm doing is not enough, versus of shifting that mindset into what I have.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, to what you said, I didn't grow up taking these pictures and doing this, and that's just not what I'm about.
Like I didn't grow up like decorating my house for Christmas
Right.
or
But
even
you are
Hanukkah.
in this fortunate position to be in a house, to live with all these other people around you. And if anything, it could be a fun activity. Instead of feeling like I'm not enough, it could be like, oh, this would be fun to try.
Yes, exactly. Like once
Yes,
you like
that's right.
remove the emotion of like what you think you are because you haven't done something, that's really just like capitalism. Like buying things to like decorate your home, whatever. Yay. Anyways, I love capitalism. I love to buy new things. I get it. You could just do it, right? Like I do Elf on the Shelf. I didn't grow up with that.
Oh, no, I don't. No, I'm not messing
Um,
with that. That's a lot of work.
yes. And
See, that's crazy. That's a lot of work.
and then like but I saw one of our friends who's like a queen elf queen.
Oh, yeah, Elf Queen.
Okay, like
No, she's an Elf
and
Queen.
but
Like,
she's
that's
like
a lot of work.
like
But
top
she
notch.
always complains about it. But
She does
why
like
do you do it?
the
But it comes
most
out amazing.
spectacular elves
Spectacular.
on the shelves. Elf on the shelf. And I will text with her and she'll like send me the picture and I'll like make it a little less. You know, I'm like, I'm not still I don't know. She just like the things that she does is so extra and amazing. Like, cause we all tell her what a good job she does.
Yes.
But some of us are like, no, no, thank you. But we're still comparing because you're like, I'm not going to do that. Right.
No, I just
Not you, but like just in general.
flat out said I'm not even going to compare, because I don't even
Yeah.
want to entertain it. Like, I'm not even comparing, because I'm like, hard stop to this. This is not even in my vocabulary. We're not doing this. Like, other things I compare, because they somehow I can understand it. This is not a part of my vocabulary. We're not doing Elf on a Shelf. Never going to happen.
It's like a hard no,
It's a
immediately
hard
no.
pass for me, dog. Like, not happening.
Not
So,
happening.
not, yeah.
Um, when I was thinking about like this episode, I thought if you don't have the bandwidth or the budget to do the same thing, don't even get into that line of thinking. If you can't afford to do it, move on. If you don't have the energy to do it because like you're working and that person's home all day, move on. Like you just
Oh, you
have
mean to
different
like
circumstances.
recognize, to
Like
recognize.
yeah, like move on from trying to feel bad about yourself. It's like really like feeling bad about yourself. That's what it is. If you're gonna like compare and then be like, what I do is not enough in my life with myself, I call that a pity party
Mm.
with myself. That's what I call my little downward spirals that I need people to be like, get out of there. And then
Pity
you
parties
like,
are fun.
yeah, they are. You have to like sulk. And like sometimes I just want to feel bad. I want to compare with this woman who has so much more time and money than me.
But how long do you have that pity party for?
Now that I'm therapized, like very little.
Like, what does that mean? Very little, like a day or a couple of hours?
Like a day, unless I'm having like, one of those mental scaries. And who knows? But if I can like if I can help myself with like rational thought, like just a day, like few hours, if there's room for rational thinking, one must move on.
Yes. Yes, I allow myself a full day if I want to.
Yeah, like,
We take the day off.
yeah, maybe you're tired, maybe your period's coming. Who knows? Maybe
Oh.
it's your hormones. Maybe you worked out too hard and your muscles are hurting and just like everything's not right.
Yeah, but like going back to comparing and like those that are doing significantly, like you think that they're doing significantly better. You don't know what's happening. Like, that whoever you were talking about that does these picture perfect photographs, like you don't know if there was yelling and crying before the photograph, before for them to come together and take that
That's
picture.
true.
We don't know. Nobody really knows what's happening behind closed doors. And this is why social media and seeing everyone trying to look their best in front of others is the worst thing. Because again, you're only showing the best things. Like when I started posting on Instagram, which I again stopped because it's just so much. I started posting on Instagram like just random thoughts. And I had somebody write to me and say, I really enjoy your videos because you talk about like the real stuff. You talk about the negative stuff that happens to you. And not many people do. And I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah, your behind the scenes work series was pretty cool. You should get back to that. Like, not that you're not doing anything, but this.
Let's go. And now it's just diarrhea of the mouth. It's just I feel like it's too much. I'm not being my authentic self with
Yeah,
having to
yeah.
post every day because I'm purely doing it just because of work or business, which at the end of the day I guess is beneficial.
So much to do. Um,
I could tell you this, that I spoke with somebody that another entrepreneur that has funding from VCs, and he was going out and looking for funding. And I was like, wow, like good for you. Like, however, he got like 4 million or something. And he was like, you know, um, it's great, but it comes with a whole set of rules and so much more stress that sometimes
you
it
wish
just,
you didn't have it.
yes, yes. So everything has it's like everything is in a sense, I don't want to say double-edged sword, but everything has a plus and a minus. And when we compare, we only see the plus, but in reality there is a minus. There's always a minus.
Yes. I have several people many, many times say that it's not like what you think you're gonna achieve. You think you're gonna achieve that and you're gonna like feel a certain way. And it's not like you think you're gonna achieve what that girl has or what that man has, and that it's from within. And you have to feel it before you achieve it, which is the law of manifestation, right? You have to feel it before you get it. And getting that thing is not gonna like make you whole. It's not going to fix you. Like it goes back to that speech that was in the White Lotus. Like even being a mom didn't fix this thing, right? So maybe it's just like the eternal side effect of being human.
Well, what does comparison come from? Like, it comes from a place of insecurity or fear, right? Of not being enough, of not being good enough, because you are not at the point that the other person is at.
Yeah, well, I've like been around I feel, and I may be wrong, I have always like my thing has always been to like be successful in career, right? And I meet women who I admire because they've reached a point where I wish I could be. And they too are unhappy with something that they don't have. And I'm like, girl, you're like the boss. You're a boss. You're successful. Like you can do whatever. And they're worried about other things that they are comparing themselves to.
Yes.
Like
What's that saying?
Mhm.
Someone's trash is another person's
Treasure.
yes, yeah, another person's treasure. So like what you think is a not being good enough or not being there yet to someone else, they look at you and they say, "Oh my God, I can't believe." Like we're doing this podcast, right? I mean, how many subscribers do we have? I mean, what did we hit 30 yet? We might have hit 30, but it's really,
Pennies.
huh?
Pennies. We have points. No, 29, 20, whatever. That's a lot. Thank you
I-
guys.
yes, but in the grand scheme of things, right? It's really nothing. So to us, it's like we're just starting out. But to others, they're like, "Oh my God, like you started a podcast. Like I could never."
Yeah, somebody's like, they're like, oh my, somebody came in, they're like, oh my God, you have a podcast. I'm like, literally anyone can do it. Buy this on Amazon. They're like, yeah, but still. I'm like, but still what? Buy the microphone, lady. Buy it. Um, yeah. Yeah. This is true. This is like gets me thinking.
The
Stay-at-home
comparison,
moms compare themselves to working moms and vice versa. Working moms, I've seen that because they're busy like working jobs, they may not always have the bandwidth to do extra things like goodie bags, for instance. For example. And they're always like, "Oh, I didn't do it." And I'm like, "Whatever, you like took your child on across the world because your job is really good." I think they'll forgive you for the goodie bags. And people have different perspectives. That's not a true story. That was not a real person. But it's possible.
yes.
It's possible.
Do we talk about the imposter syndrome and how that ties into comparison?
Well, yeah, you think you're a fraud. But I listened to recently Mel Robbins,
Yes.
and you can't be you're feeling like you're an imposter because you're actually doing the thing and you're just uncomfortable, you know? Imposter syndrome sucks. It's like a crime against yourself.
It's a crime against yourself, yes. But that's interesting because that is the direct sort of descendant of the comparison.
Although if somebody were to call me a podcaster, I'd be like, no. But literally, we are in the act of podcasting. Therefore, we are podcasters. We've uploaded videos to YouTube. Therefore, we are YouTubers.
So then, do you have an imposter syndrome? Is that what an
Yeah, I want to hide all the time. I can't look at social media. We talk about the episodes every single time. Like, of course. But you have to keep doing it until it becomes that other people, or you just have to keep doing it.
It's interesting because I think that an imposter syndrome is an exact opposite of what entrepreneur uh, has to be. Like those are on completely two different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah,
Because if you believe in your idea and you're passionate and you're trying to make it work, you cannot feel like you're an imposter because you're the one that made it work. You're the one that's working on making it work.
exactly. And that's the mind playing games. I guess it's the mind just like trying to keep you safe. And
For me, like an imposter syndrome.
because you are an entrepreneur, you like literally have multiple businesses that
Yeah.
are other people know about, that you go to trade shows.
Yes. People know me. I'm kind of a big deal.
You're kind of a big deal. Like like my co-host is Dasha. Like she's kind of a big deal. Seriously, you've been doing this for such a long time.
Yeah, but I think I understand that in the grand scheme of things, I'm not a big deal. But I don't, is that an imposter syndrome?
No, so like I also believe that in order to succeed, we need to be like a little delusional, right? And Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, like Tina Fey has a quote about this. Success is like I have to look it up. Tina Fey delusion quote. You have to think like sometimes you see these people on Shark Tank and they're like talking passionately about their ideas and like you don't see it, but they think it's like
Yes,
the idea.
that's right.
Like the Ring camera, like the Ring, he got denied by multiple like all of the sharks.
Which is crazy.
And
Crazy.
he was delusional enough that to think that people would want cameras on their doors that had never been done before. Like you have to have a certain like you have to be a disruptor of something, right? I'm a disruptor of my own mood. Oh
Another
my god.
quote. We got it. We got another T-shirt. All right, let's get the quote. It's sorry. I'm like,
Okay. Confidence is 10% hard work and 90% delusion.
who
Like
said
just
that?
look Tina Fey. I'm like into the comedy ladies. Like even look at a show now on Apple TV. Like I love TV and actors and writers and performers. Seth Rogen literally got like all of Hollywood to be in his show about Hollywood. Like the amount of guest stars and Seth Rogen, I guess he's A list. I don't know what list he's in, but I bet he doesn't wake up thinking about that.
That's right.
I bet he just wakes up and thinks he's the best. I know Adam Sandler is like that. Sorry to quote the guys, but like obviously we ladies have issues, okay? Sorry. Adam Sandler said he was raised with a mom and a sister who said yes to every like idea that he ever had,
Wow.
right? Like and so they don't compare. Like these are artists. They're not like comparing to like other things people have done. Like you can't compare Adam Sandler humor to other people's humor.
This is a natural thing. You
They work with
comparing is a
coaches.
natural feeling that you have, unless you are really have been therapized,
Therapized.
therapized,
Therapized.
therapized, and you are so self confident in yourself that you're just like, oh, great, good for them. But
Of course they have coaches. You have to have coaches. You
at that level, who are you comparing yourself to? You already made it.
know you're having coaches, you're having like people talk to you. Imagine not every brain is capable of handling everything. So I do believe a lot of people have coaches.
Yes, fine. I agree with that. But what we're talking about is when, you've mentioned two people that are highly successful. When you become that highly successful, who are you going to compare yourself to? You understand that you're highly successful. At that point, you might have the imposter syndrome because you're already highly successful. And you feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have gotten highly successful because maybe I'm not that good.
Just like regular people.
Correct. Those are those that are struggling. Like then you're gonna compare. Like if you're struggling and you're a great comedian, you're gonna compare yourself to Adam Sandler and be like, "Why is that mofo so? He's not even that
Okay.
funny."
I want to know who Nikki Glacier compares herself to.
The other,
They,
probably the other chick that's I don't know any of their names. There's a brunette chick that's around.
a brunette.
You know
Yes,
who I'm
she made a lot
talking
of
about?
television shows. They're
Yes,
kind of like
exactly. She
different,
probably
like,
compares
you
herself to her.
know, riding in cars with comedians. And so he has a show now.
So
So he was comparing the whole time.
there you
But
go.
then he's gonna be like, "Where's my second show?" Well, some people have won the Mark Twain Award for comedy and humor, and they might be like, "Am I really that funny?" Or are the people not realizing? I don't know. These are great thoughts to have at night when you can't fall asleep.
Yeah. The key is to be kind to yourself. And with that,
Going gray.
with that, we end the episode.
Um, with that said, stop comparing yourself to somebody else because what you have is within. Like, if you keep comparing and you're like not feeling good, you should stop that. But if you feel like you're comparing and you can do better, start focusing on yourself.
But your journey, where you are at the journey, you can't compare the journeys. Where you are at the journey might not be at the same place as the other person at the journey.
Right.
So that's why
This is the other one. Don't compare your fig to the oak tree. I think that was one, right?
that's it. That's
Don't
it.
compare your little seed to a grown ass tree that's been growing for 100 years.
Yes. The joy comes from within. And we need
That's what
to
I've been
start
told.
focusing on our own journey. So make sure that you don't measure your worth against someone else's success, because you don't know at what stage they're at and how they got to the success, and you don't know what's happening behind closed doors. So on that note, we leave you until next time.
Thank you and goodbye.